bada boom.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to OK Bud, the podcast where everything's going to be okay, bud. I'm Ben Kissel on Instagram at BenKissel1, joined by Jerry Aquino.
Hello.
At Miss_Jerry, that's Jerrii. And Kyle Plouffe.
Hey.
At Kyle Plouffe. It's a super fun day Friday show. I've got two cups of coffee and half a cigar, so I am really celebrating the way they do in rehab.
Nice. Well, this is my second cup of coffee, and Starbucks got my name kind of right. It's just regular Jerry, like Springer.
It is with a Y, yeah.
That's honest. That's a win for me. It's better than Jeremy or Jerry.
Sometimes names are spelled wrong. Yours might be one of those names, Jerry. So I'm going to give that to the Starbucks employee. They took a shot.
No, exactly. It's
in the realm.
That's fine. That is totally acceptable.
Absolutely. If you want to join the show live, go to OKBudPod If you want to listen to the show live, go to patreon.com/diebud. If you want to message the show, go to okbudpod@gmail.com. And that's where we start today's episode with a powerful email and, dare I say, Bud of the Week.
Whoa! You were
Nalani.
very upset at not budding yesterday.
It has a pulse?
Yes, it's Nalani. It's Nalani. And she is also, Bud of the Week is also everyone who emails. But in this case, specifically Nalani.
Okay.
So she says, Ben, I just wanted to say thank you. This is a bit of an emotional email.
Oh no.
So put on your emotional hat.
Okay. It's on.
Okay, it's on.
It's on.
Good. That's a hat with two beer cans on the side of it.
Yeah.
Funneling right into your mouth. She says, I just wanted to say hi. Thank you. Last January, I lost my best friend and cousin to suicide. It's very sad.
Sorry.
Watching you rise and build yourself back up gave me the will to keep on going when everything in me wanted to give up on life. Because of you, your podcast, your upbeat view on life, my 4-year-old still has a mom. Well, I will forever miss my lifelong best friend. I'm in a much better place mentally, and you were a big part of that. So thank you.
Oh.
Wow.
Unbelievable to be a part of that. You know, that's why I love radio. I love broadcasting.
Yeah.
I love podcasting because we reach people where they are.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for that kind message. And I'm so sorry you had to deal with all of that. Suicide is brutal, and we'll get through it together.
Yes.
And I don't, life is tough.
We've been there too, so
Yes,
definitely.
we love you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go on to a slightly more upbeat story. And I want to just throw this. We're going to do a toss-up question right away.
Oh, wow.
Movie theaters are hemorrhaging audiences.
Yes.
Yes.
No one's going to the theaters anymore.
Yeah.
They're too expensive. The food's expensive. Popcorn ain't so good. And so what are some reasons why? Maybe there's no fun. So some movie theaters have decided to perhaps test a couple of different ideas. One idea I'm absolutely opposed to, and that is texting in theaters.
Yeah.
They say the
Oh, my
reason people don't go to
God.
theater is because they can't text in the theater. But in my personal opinion, that's one of the reasons you go to the theater, because no one can contact you. And it's one of the only bastions of excuses we have left where it's like, sorry, I was in the movie. I couldn't answer your call.
Yeah.
Everyone gets so bent out of shape about what you do with your phone at the movies.
Let's not.
Oh, are you pro texting?
Yeah, I'm pro do whatever the fuck. It's not like we don't have
You're
like
pro-texting during the movie.
I don't care. I don't text during movies for the most part, but it's not like we have phones where we're pressing into buttons and you can hear every button as it presses down.
It's a
and
dark-
Like,
it's
you
a-
can lower the brightness and just use touch screen.
No,
quietness.
you can't.
Yeah.
I shame all my friends that text during the movie. I say, what are you, out of your goddamn mind? Put it
dead.
away.
I'm dead. Okay. Well, I'm not going to the movies with you.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the Kayatola camp here.
There we go.
Because even if it's really dimmed, the theater is pitch black and you can still see it, and it brings you out of the film.
Well,
Yes.
only if it's a really dark scene. sometimes it's daylight and there's explosions.
But the
and
theater
stuff
itself is
going on.
still dark.
Yeah. But,
Are you
but it's
timing your text to the
extremely lit.
explosions?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, God.
I
Okay.
definitely am timing my text to explosions.
Well-
where I'm like, yeah, this explosion is going to take. There's going to be a slow walk. There's going to be explosions. I got at least 4 seconds to check my text.
Okay. So perhaps that new rule might be a benefit for people like you to go to the theaters because you say, okay, I can also text funny memes to my friends.
I'm not going to text funny memes. It's just like if I have like things to do, or if like, someone is like it's quick, like it's a quick thing. It's not a
If you
big
have shit
deal.
to do, don't go to the movies.
Wow.
That's why
What
we
if
go, is because
what
we
if we're-
don't have shit to do.
What if we're planning things? You know,
Okay, well,
who's going to pick me up? Maybe I need a ride.
what are you a child?
Yeah, maybe I need to wait for the bus, and I have to text the bus.
Okay. All right. I wasn't a fan of that rule, but it's 2 to 1.
It's fine. You don't have to text at movies. It's really not that big of a deal. I just think that
No, you can't.
Yeah. It's just that sometimes I'm sitting, I look at my phone for 4 seconds and I feel like I'm in class, and then someone looks at me and it's like, do you want to put your phone away? And I'm like, do you want to shut the fuck
Okay.
up? I paid to be in this seat just like you.
Yeah, so they don't want to see your shit.
Now
I
you guys
wasn't showing it to you.
All right,
I wasn't showing it to you.
Okay. You're just yelling now. Jessica Garcia,
Wow.
a college
Wow.
student in Michigan,
I get passionate.
she says she loves movies, but can't remember she went to go see a movie in a theater because she says, I just like streaming things and sitting on my couch with my phone and my snacks.
See?
Doing what is called second screening, where you have a little screen so you can look at that, and then you can look up and look at the big screen so you're never bored or have any critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she says, if there's a boring part, I'll just jump on Instagram or TikTok quick until things get going again. So basically, she's not mature enough to handle cinema.
Or maybe she worked a really long shift at work that day and was stressed the fuck out, and she just wants to go home and just sit like a potato and just turn off completely, not use her brain. And that's time that she's reclaiming for herself before she has to go back and deal with the shit of the real world the next day.
Everyone knows you don't use your brain at work. That's how you
not
do it.
True.
Yes,
that's not
don't
true.
use your brain at work,
Yeah,
and then-
it's true for us right now at our jobs. We don't have to use our brains.
I
But
use my brain.
Some people have to use their brains at work.
Okay. She does not. So she says no texting at AMC. That was why she never went back.
I'll still go with my phone.
All right. That's another one. Another idea is that they want to do sing-alongs.
No.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Okay.
No.
So this happened during Wicked,
Yes.
a film I saw, and dare I say, I defy gravity every day when I get out of bed.
Nice.
You do.
And they were upset, some moviegoers, because people were singing the Wicked songs.
That's weird. I didn't hear of those rooms that people did not want to be in. And again, this is more just like policing of like.
But you pay top dollar. You're
Yeah.
going to hear Elbaba.
Yeah.
You want to hear Elphaba sing.
There you go.
You don't want to hear the person sitting next to you sing because odds are they're not very good at it.
Look
Yes.
to the western sky.
Okay, thank you. Very, very. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I paid $20. Now all of a sudden I got a Bostonian asshole sitting
Yeah.
next to me singing about how he's, a witch.
Uh-huh.
So they're offering some screenings that would be sing available.
Yes, and I think that's fair.
And if you tell people beforehand, this is an annoying theater where everyone's going to be singing, and you still purchase the ticket, then it's on you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would
Totally.
love to avoid that theater.
But yes, I would avoid that theater like the plague.
Like the plague.
Unless it's something like a Rocky Horror Picture Show, in which case we've all seen the movie 1,000 times, and people get dressed up, and they know the songs, and it becomes part of the pomp and circumstance.
Why is that not a thing for Wicked? Wicked's been around for a very long time, and people that are going, that are very excited, know all of the words, know the play very well, are going dressed up in green and in their pink dresses.
No, then that's the theater for them.
Exactly.
The one that says we sing along.
Well, but why is the Rocky Horror Picture Show like more like I don't know? It like deserves to have a sing along, and that's valid. But the Wicked one is like no,
Because everyone knows the time warp.
Yeah, again, everyone knows. Everyone that knows Wicked knows Wicked, which
That's
it was the
right.
majority of people that went to see. You guys are gatekeeping the movies a little bit.
The straight white guys are keeping
I
Wicked.
don't think that you should sing along in the out loud in the regular movies. When I first saw Wicked, I was like tearing up the
There you
entire
go.
time, and I was mouthing the words to myself. It was very quiet. You can tell all the people were loving it, but were also respectful. And then there was like a huge applause at the end of the movie. And also,
Yes.
yeah, it'd be pretty cool to be like, oh, there's a sing along one too. I would go with that.
Exactly. Well, the difference is Wicked, when it first comes out, maybe someone hasn't seen it, and you want them to get the original experience.
Yes.
Right? Now, with a Rocky Horror Picture, obviously, it's been out for, 30, 40 years.
So has, okay.
Just hear me out.
No,
And
it's
so-
Wicked has been out.
No, I understand that, but not in the
seem like-
in a movie form.
Yes,
Right.
it's a different form.
It's a different thing.
Oh,
So-
it's a different form.
Yes.
From
So
VHS.
that's why, anyway, what I was saying is when it goes to Wicked opening weekend, don't ruin it with the song. Now, 2 weeks in, now we do sing-alongs. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And third, and this is something I think we'll all agree on, they want cinemas to start selling weed. Wouldn't that be exciting? Now, I'm a massive advocate of that because I want to go enjoy the show, smoke a big old joint, hear people coughing a little bit. Movie sales will go up, and also concessions will be through the roof, and a lot of people will be drinking soda.
Yeah, I do agree with that. That movie sales will go up, and you two are the weed. You guys like the weed.
I love weed.
We love
I get very scared. So actually, I would like to go to a horror movie where people are smoking weed. I'm not smoking it, but maybe I get a second hand, and I'm still even more terrified now.
That's okay. So
Exactly.
there will be smoking rooms. There will be show times for smoking rooms.
So I'd do that.
and
Yeah.
show times for non-smoking rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
21 plus for the weed.
Yep.
There you go. Boom. I actually love that idea because then children won't be able to be in there.
Yeah, that rocks.
Get my kid out of here.
Yeah.
You're very nice. What does the chat say, Kyle?
They're saying Pano's saying sing along with noise canceling headphones.
Oh, that could work. That could work.
Imagine watching a movie and hearing the sing along through the walls from the next room over.
Well, that would be annoying.
Yeah, you got to get the soundproofing right for sure.
Of course, it's the
Absolutely.
movies. Have you ever heard any other audience tip into from other walls? No.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one movie. I think it was like a really quiet one, like a Paranormal Activity or something. And the movie right across was a lot louder. But usually you don't. Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, when I went to go see The Quiet Place, we could hear every movie.
Well,
that
and then
makes sense.
Also, me crunching the popcorn because I was the only asshole that was like eating it constantly.
So awkward. That's it sounds so much louder inside your head, and you're just like,
Jeff is reminding you, you can't text a bus, Jerry.
yes, I can. It's called yes, I can. It's called the Metro Micro Van. It's
Oh.
a bus that you can text to pick you up at a certain time, and you have like 60 seconds to get in it, or they leave you. It's so fast, but also it costs $1.
Okay.
So that happens in some places.
Nothing special needs about this.
No.
No,
All right. Well, let's move on. Speaking of movies and screams, I suppose.
Ooh.
We didn't cover this story, but now this woman is being charged, and it's interesting. She's facing what is being called an avalanche of sex charges that could put her behind bars for decades. A former Indiana teacher, she participated in a gangbang with a
Wow.
bunch of underage kids, right? Which that's real gross.
that is horrifying.
And I feel like we're in an era now where it's like women are like, we can do anything that men can do. And it seems like they're molesting a lot of children.
Seems like they're doing like they're coming in from the wrong end there.
Yeah. So there was a bunch of kids, and she says, hey, boys, can you wear scream masks when you come in and, I guess, pretend to gangbang me or rape me? In
Whoa.
the court documents, Morgan County prosecutors say they've added many charges, including they've added many charges related to the 5 or more alleged victims, bringing the total number to 6 who have accused Brittany Fortenberry of a slew of sex crimes.
Jeez.
Yes. She also has 24 additional felonies pending, putting a grand total to 29, including 5 level 1 child molestation counts. There's a whole series of other ones, and it doesn't look like she's going to be getting out anytime soon. In addition to child molestation, Fortenberry, Just 1 second. I fucked it up.
No, you're good. She looks very different from the pictures that she posted to her actual mugshot.
Yeah. It does. She doesn't even look as tan.
No, they're getting her right in the Fortenberries.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Well, that's just upsetting. Says pretty disgusting behavior on her end.
Yep. So, in addition to the child molestation charges, she's facing sexual misconduct with a minor, dissemination of matter harmful to a minor, and some other things. So,
yeah, she sends out the invite saying, "I'm Wes Craven, more underage cock."
there we go. She's also been charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Many minors.
If convicted, she faces up to 20 to 40 years in prison on each count. So isn't that interesting?
Good Lord.
The children were between 12 and 16.
12. My God.
Yeah, it's not good.
Jesus, that's sick.
Isn't that gross?
Yeah.
Well, that's not really a good conversation starter, is it?
No,
No,
it's not.
it's kind of gross.
They're blinded by the boobs.
No, they were
the
just,
young
they're
kids.
children.
They're just
Yeah.
kids.
It's like her first mugshot is like, oh, I think I'm going to do okay. And then the second mugshot is like, oh, no, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, there's some saucy pictures over there. Some high cleavage shots.
Yeah.
No, it's not really. She'll enjoy prison.
Well, hopefully.
All right.
Get comfy.
There you go. Let's move on to another teacher. This is a 350-pound teacher in Minnesota.
Oh.
Yes, he's been charged because he allegedly used a 6th grader as a stepping stool.
That is, one of the lower crimes we've covered here.
It really is. His name is Jason Rogers. He confessed to standing on the boy's back after the student opted to lie on his stomach instead of sitting down. This is a big old teacher.
Oh.
Right.
Oh my God.
So the boy's mother said the saga began and it left her son so badly injured that he was walking around like an 80-year-old with a pain in his back.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
a
my
giant
goodness.
man walked all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez Louise.
The boy told cops that the teacher stood on his back for roughly 10 seconds, causing him to cry out in pain. We used to have a teacher that would do like a little flick on the wrist or something like that, but a full stand on the back for 10 seconds at 350 pounds.
Yeah.
You can't be surfboarding the kids.
No.
No, absolutely not. To what end? Like, what was going to happen?
I don't know. The child did not know why the defendant did this because he did not hear him say anything about it and just stepped on him like he was a stepping stool.
Wow, that is pretty brutal.
Wait, so the kid was just laying down? and
Kid
then
was
just
laying
stepped
down.
on him?
Yeah, he was like, get up, get back to your seat. Don't make me tell you again. And then next thing you know, he was standing on his back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, as long as you're going to be on the floor, you might as well be a carpet.
Indeed, and carpets get stepped upon.
Yes.
So he acknowledged, Rogers, that he weighed 350 pounds, and he allegedly admitted he did it because he didn't think the students were taking the drill that he was doing seriously enough.
Oh, God.
God.
What the hell was the drill?
I don't know. You're supposed to just kind of sit there like an asshole and I think it's called get popped in the head or something. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says multiple kids were lying on their stomachs and they had to be warned he could step on them in their current position. So I think the kids were supposed to sit down, maybe read a book or something. But instead they lied on their tummies.
He was like, all right, everyone lie on your stomachs. This is what happens when you listen to adults that tell you to lie on your stomachs, and then he steps on them.
Yeah.
Is that the drill?
I guess that's the drill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good sized teacher. They say you should arm the teachers to stop school shootings, but I think the fatter they are, then you got more kids behind them, and then the bullets can kind of go through the teacher. And I do believe if you're fat, you have a better chance of surviving a gunshot wound.
So scared to send my child to a school.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Well, you could homeschool them and really see how that turns out.
Oh, I'll just do 9/11 theories every day.
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah. So he goes.
Learn math.
He grows up with there's 2, now there's 0.
As a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
He can count to 2.
Rogers put his foot on the injured student's lower back and put all of his weight on him. And then the kid was like, ouch, get off of me. But then the teacher, he stepped down and he was slapped with 1 gross misdemeanor.
Oh,
So we'll see what happens with him. I don't know if he needs to be in the classroom. But then again, we're hemorrhaging teachers, so maybe this is the best we get.
That's probably the best we get. They're not paid very well either, so it's probably shows something in his resume that looks like this was going to happen eventually.
It does get much worse than this guy.
He's like, amateur wrestling? Huh. Good enough for me.
That's fine.
They can teach English.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, I think our gym teacher, he taught something. It wasn't science. But there's a lot of twofers out there.
There is, yeah. I had like a gym teacher like doubles as like a history teacher.
Yeah, it happens in the smaller school system. Kyle, you got something?
Yeah, this guy that we just covered is like the bottom of he's the top of the barrel, I think, when it comes to horrible crimes against kids. There's a guy who was a substitute teacher. He was just arrested in Austin, Texas, because he was taking pictures of all the kids. And there's apparently an app that you can get where you can load people into the app and then make pornography with it. So he was making child porn
God, with AI?
With AI. So this is the first
That
case
is
in the
sick.
country where a teacher was arrested for putting children's faces on adult or children's bodies in AI.
Oh my God.
That is interesting. So what are they charging him with then?
So he's been arrested on porn charges. He
Okay.
taught as a substitute at 20 Austin schools.
wow.
Apparently, the superintendent was just charged as well.
Oh my God.
What would he say these pictures are even for?
Well,
He's just taking
yearbook.
pictures of the kids and then he putting them into a program and then that program makes them all have sex with each other.
No, I mean, like, what would he tell the students it's for? It's not picture day.
no,
They're not
dude,
making
it's a different time now.
It's
This is crazy that you're too old for this.
I am too old
because
for this.
you feel so young.
Why would?
But this is crazy because even my ex-fiance, like people I've dated, people I know are teachers, and they will take daily pictures of their kids and send them to the parents and stuff, being like, oh, this is what your kid's doing today.
Oh, I
Everything is all
okay.
text and email now with the parents. It's very
Wow.
weird. I'm not used to it. I'm actually scared for that.
That is actually interesting. I was just talking to a teacher friend of mine, and they were like complaining about parent teacher student meetings.
Yeah.
And then he pulled out his phone and it was like a text thread with a mom, and I was like, "You're texting the mom?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have to text all the moms now. It's really annoying."
Dude, when the annoying parents get pissed, they will text the teacher immediately now, which
Yeah.
is awful.
That's terrible.
But yeah, this guy is now facing possession of child pornography with intent to promote.
Okay, so even though it's not air quotes real,
Yes.
it is still child pornography.
Yeah, it's
I
like a
think so,
child
yeah.
porn AI app that he got.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
he's
God.
children's faces.
So he's a litany of felonies that he's
Oh
going
my
through.
God.
Thanks, Bill Gates.
Yeah, so the
AI
guy
is gonna
stepping
say-
on the back is not as bad as this guy.
Definitely not as bad as stepping on a back, but there's definitely more of a direct impact with the stepping on the back thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
pretty much instantaneous.
Well, that's an interesting point. I guess if you're one of the children, the AI, it's unknown. You don't know what's going on.
No.
You're not actually being victimized in a sense, but of course you are in another sense. But then you got the other kid who was lying on his stomach. You got a 350-pound hip hop teacher on top of you, and that's going to hurt your back.
Yeah.
But the big old chunky teacher, he's not going to get nearly as much time as the guy who made the AI child porn, and that makes sense. It's interesting if I was on a jury.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. This is a new case. Right?
It's
This is
crazy.
new
It's
law,
the first
right?
of its kind, yeah.
Oh, God.
If you're a lawyer, reach out, okbudpod@gmail.com. Let us know, is this going to be treated the exact same way as if it wasn't AI, as if they actually got the children together, like that teacher who did the gangbang with all the scream masks? I guess there's no difference in the idea.
I mean,
Certainly
there's
not.
definitely an exploitation. Luckily, the kids don't know that it's happening because
Oh,
that's the most traumatizing thing. But yeah, it's disgusting.
Very
It's a
interesting.
new world, guys.
It's a stupid world.
I don't like that.
I don't like it one bit.
No.
Is it illegal to have cartoon child porn? Can you do that?
No, you can't.
No.
That's all bad.
Don't do that.
Good. Okay. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, let's move on to a bit of a mystery. This is intriguing. 4 sheriff's deputies from the same Texas department have died by suicide in just the span of a few weeks.
That's not funny.
No. So 4 current and former sheriff deputies from Harris County Sheriff's Department in Houston have died by suicide since February, including 3 in the span of a week.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that insane?
That's
This is
a
bad.
lot.
Yes, and no one really knows why. So, the first incident was Deputy Long Nguyen. They died by suicide on February 6th. Weeks later, Deputy Christina Kohler died. She was only 37.
What?
Yes. And then, 3 days later, the body of former Deputy Maria Vasquez was discovered,
Well,
with the Houston Medical Examiner ruling her death as self-inflicted. And then on March 19th, retired Deputy William Bozeman also took his own life after spending 24 years with the department.
Yeah.
What in the hell
okay.
is going on
Well-
in this Houston Police Department? 4 suicides
Sounds like murder to me.
in 2 months.
They're all either really good people or really bad people because they were coming out against others and they were suicided, or they committed a crime together and they're all freaking the fuck out.
Yep. That sounds about right.
President of Harris County's deputy organization, Jose Lopez, says the deaths caught a lot of us by surprise. So they were surprised.
Yeah.
They weren't like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah,
That'll happen.
we always knew they were going to do this at the same time.
We're like, oh, that's weird.
Yep. They say it hits very close to home, and it's a reminder to us how fragile life is. And it's only a reminder that we do need to look out for each other. We do need to take care of each other.
Yeah.
So there's been a probe that's been launched into why these 4 suicides took place. Very, very bizarre.
That is really weird. There is something going on back there.
Something is happening. Who knows what, but hopefully we get some answers at some point.
Yeah, I was reading about this on Twitter actually, and they were doing AI calculations. They were asking Grok, which is like the Twitter AI now.
Grok?
Which is the most like comprehensive, up-to-date AI that encompasses everything.
Sounds like a stupid tight end for the New England Patriots.
That's
Yeah,
Gronk,
it
baby.
does.
I know
Gronk.
that's Gronk.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's exactly who I thought of. And that's the AI. That's their that's the smart guy.
Grok. And they said,
Grok.
what are the chances of 4 people being completely connected at work and committing suicide at the same time? And they said it was like 1 in 1 octillion, which is like 27 zeros.
Oh, that's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, so there's something going on here.
Yes.
That is.
This is according to the department. This is what they wrote on Facebook. They say, today we learned of a Harris County Sheriff Office retiree who died from an apparent suicide. This makes 3 of us within a span of a week. Our hearts are heavy. We extend our deepest condolences to their families, colleagues, and friends. It's a painful reminder that life is fragile and time is not promised. So we're going to keep you updated on this story.
Yeah.
Something is happening. Who knows? Maybe they know too much.
Yeah.
Maybe they know too little.
Something's going to come out.
Something very
something's
bizarre.
gonna come out. I can't wait.
Because maybe they felt guilt, or as Kyle said, maybe they were going to expose somebody who did something wrong.
Yeah,
Right.
it is 2 sides of the spectrum. There can't be anything else.
But
And if nothing comes out, then it was a cover up that worked.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and it's a diverse group of
Oh,
suicides.
they're so
You know,
beautiful.
You got your typical Houston, white police officer with a cowboy hat. Then you have Miss Vasquez, just a beautiful young officer. Mm-hmm. Then you have Christina Kohler, another beautiful young officer. Mm-hmm. And then
They're all
you've got
young.
Long Nguyen.
Yeah.
Yes, who was the retired deputy. So they were also fairly successful in the profession.
Yeah.
These were not beat patrol officers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is when I read that, something has got to be happening, and hopefully we find out more information as the weeks go on.
Yep.
And it's just very, very sad.
We're looking at you, Texas.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't look back at it.
Harris County.
What's happening in Harris County? Maybe search Harris County controversies. Perhaps there's something there. All right.
All right. What else do we have going on today?
We have a Florida man.
Ah, yes. Good old Florida man will never let us down.
He was dressed as Ronald McDonald.
Oh,
Yep, and he was arrested for trespassing.
Oh,
where
yeah.
was he trespassing into a McDonald's?
No. His name is Christopher Marlowe. He's 40. And they were stuffing him into a squad car. And the officer says, "You look like a clown." And then he said, "No shit. I am a clown, stupid."
All right, I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. So police first confronted Marlowe Monday afternoon in a Palm Bay, Florida shopping center from which he had been previously trespassing. So they said, you don't buy anything. You got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Right? They say, don't go anywhere, Chris. A cop announced, you're not free to leave. So they're on first name basis.
Oh, this is a dude that's constantly in different suits, maybe.
Yeah, he kind of gets drunk or does crystal methamphetamine and then dresses up as a clown. And then he goes to the mall. And that's just a nice Monday.
It's just a nice little afternoon thing.
Absolutely.
And then they're like, John, not again.
Not again. Get out of there. Stop licking that pole.
Yes.
So, as seen on body-worn police camera footage, Marlowe struggled with the officers before he was knocked to the ground and then handcuffed. And the cops are like, you look like a clown. And as we mentioned, he said, I am a fucking clown.
Yeah, you're a fucking clown. We're all fucking clowns here.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, he wore a red and white striped shirt and a yellow vest, which had the logo of McDonald's on it.
That's funny. Where did he get such a costume?
I don't know, because Ronald McDonald, I just read a whole article on McDonald's. They have stepped away from Ronald because of the movie It.
What? That was the reason?
Really?
That was one of the reasons. They said clowns were getting a bad rap.
It took them a while, but yeah, clowns are creepy.
Well, do you remember also people were dressing up as clowns outside of people's houses and then waving to them and stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
Right? So the McDonald's is like, damn it, clowns are out. Ronald, you're gone.
Yeah, Ronald got fired.
Which just shows you how cutthroat the business is.
It is the clown business or the McDonald's business.
The clown business and the McDonald's business.
It's no funny business.
Well, yeah,
Definitely
that's what freaked me out when I was a kid, because I didn't love Ronald McDonald. Like, I loved all the other characters.
Yeah.
But Ronald was there to control the zoo.
Yes, but then they had like the coin thing at the front when you were like ordering your food, and it's like, oh, donate to the Ronald McDonald House. And you're like, oh, what's the Ronald McDonald House? They're like, oh, that's the house you go to if you have cancer. So I'm like, oh, I'm sick and I have to deal with this fucking guy?
Well, when you're
I'm terrified.
that is true.
He was pretty creepy looking.
It used to scare the shit out of me that I would have childhood cancer and have to deal with Ronald McDonald at the same
That's
time.
hilarious.
It's the only reason you didn't get it.
And he never walked into a McDonald's ever again.
Well, no, I mean, I went all the time.
I like that. Yeah, I'm not scared of clowns. I never got like hit with that fear. My mom used to have a bunch of clown figurines everywhere in the house. So I don't know.
Used to?
Yeah, used to.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Maybe they got sentient and walked out and went to Florida.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so Marlowe's rap sheet includes convictions for trespass, resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, and then in January, he pleaded no contest to possession of crystal methamphetamine in a glass pipe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a clown. Clown's got a clown.
Clown's got a clown.
Clown's gotta have fun, and that's exactly what he was doing. He was clowning.
That's so funny. Good for him.
In a way.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Doesn't seem like it was harming anyone else.
No, it was, sometimes cops, they look at a guy and they're like, sweet, today we're going to get our arrest.
Yeah.
We're going to fill out some paperwork. 8 hours is going to be gone before you know it. We're going to be back having pot roast with our wife.
Yep.
So you see this guy, it's a guaranteed arrest. And, life goes on. So Anyway, good job. Let's move on to a horrifying story. Speaking of creepy characters.
Oh, boy. What a roll.
Children.
Seriously, dude.
Oftentimes children, they can sense things in their room. Oh. Yes. This child, he said, Miss Babysitter, there's a monster under my bed. Now, usually a babysitter will say, okay, I'm sure there's a monster under your bed. Let me check.
Right.
Well, in this case, there really was. It took place in Kansas.
Oh, my God.
Yes, a child in Kansas complained to his babysitter there was, quote, a monster under his bed.
Oh, my God. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to lift the bed up and, like, show you that there's nothing there. And then she lifts it up. Yeah. Holy shit. I can't imagine. I would scare the living crap out of me. I would just drop.
So this took place in Great Bend, Kansas. It was around 10:30 p.m. And the child said, oh, my God, I sense something under the bed. She looked under the bed, and oh my God, she became face to face with a male suspect.
That's fucking so creepy. That is,
Yeah, we always check for monsters. We don't check for suspects under the bed.
Yeah.
Well, monsters are suspect.
Yeah, you know.
So the babysitter ensued. They had a fight, and she was knocked over in the struggle. Apparently, this guy, Martin Villabos Jr., he fled the scene. He's 27 years old, and he had previously lived at the residence, but there was a protection order against him because he was a real asshole.
Damn. So,
So-
you think this is someone that's like maybe like going into like a custody battle thing? And he's like, I'm going to see my kids again.
I'm not quite sure about that. He was arrested and transported to the Barton County Jail, where he was booked on requested charges of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, aggravated battery, child endangerment, felony obstruction of law enforcement, and a violation of protection from abuse order. So it seems like a lot. He is now being held on a $500,000 bond.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the fact that like he might pop up under the bed at any point. Yeah, lock him up.
Right?
You don't think?
I think he was going to kill the kid.
Yeah, maybe he was going to kill the kid.
What else do you do under the bed?
This is weirdly written, though. Like, did the babysitter identify them as Martin? Or were they identified as Martin after the babysitter found them?
No, the babysitter knew it was Martin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody knows who he is.
Everyone knows. Everyone.
She's like, this asshole.
She was like, Marty, what the fuck?
What are you doing? Get the heck out of here, would you?
Do you think is it or because she was the babysitter? She was not someone that had the abuse order out. I would imagine that was maybe someone in the house that
Probably
lived there.
somebody that lived there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's just absolutely terrifying. I feel like if I saw someone's eyes underneath the bed, my brain would just start going everywhere to like, all right, where knife? Do I say something? Do I just start running? Do I pick up this kid and go?
Well,
Like,
I mean, she really
what
missed.
the hell do you do?
She missed the opportunity if she knew it was Marty to be like, "Great Scott, Marty!"
Wow.
Yeah, she didn't make
Wow.
that joke. She
didn't.
Yeah.
I think she was very scared.
Great Scott.
She was probably not thinking about Back to the Future. She's also
Yeah,
probably
she's
not
not
almost
thinking
40
about
years old.
movie references.
Right. She
He
was
is 27. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, was kind of scared. They got a guy down there, perhaps trying to kill this boy.
Children.
So yeah, she wasn't trying to be all punny with it.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I would say that I wouldn't, but we do tend to default to comedy in our worst moments. Sometimes,
That's true.
Of course
sometimes
we do.
I default to comedy a lot when I'm in bad situations where I definitely should not be doing it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So we'll see what happens with that case. All I know is that was my biggest fear as a child. And that's why I had a bed, and I still do have a bed that goes right to the ground.
Oh,
I don't like the underbed.
you didn't have the legs?
I don't have the legs.
Wow.
I go right to the ground.
Sweep the leg, Benjamin.
Well, I like having it under the bed, but just like to have storage and having those like roll out little like drawers.
Yeah, I guess if you have it jam packed with stuff,
Yeah.
then no one can fit in there.
Yeah, I fill it up completely.
No.
Yep.
But what a nightmare. That kid's probably never going to sleep well again.
Oh my God, no! It's going to be years and years of therapy and trauma.
I recommend
club.
take it to the ground. Take the bed to the ground.
Take the bed to the ground.
All right. Just lastly, P. Diddy. Now, they don't call him P. Diddy anymore, do they? It's just Diddy.
It's just Diddy.
He dropped
He dropped the P.
No, it's love now. He wants you to be known as love.
No. He's forcing that too much.
Yeah,
What?
He wants
That's
it
a
too
thing?
much.
No.
Yeah, love.
No pun intended.
He wants his name to be Love?
Yeah.
Kyle, stop saying it like that.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, P. Diddy, he had a pastor, and it turns out this pastor is a total piece of shit.
Oh.
It was a popular preacher who once performed at Diddy's birthday party, because you know how preachers are always getting paid to perform at birthday parties.
Right? What the hell is that?
Yes.
Perform what? Like a sermon?
A sermon, I guess.
Yeah.
His name is Marvin Sapp. He told his congregation, this takes place in Maryland. He says that we want $40,000 and no one is leaving this church until we get it. He told all of the bishops and the people working the doors to lock them, and no one was allowed to leave until the church got 40 grand.
Oh my God.
Yes, this was at the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Convention in Baltimore. He says, close the door
Wow.
as the flock pays up.
Oh my God.
Sapp says in a now viral video, there's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors, ushers. Close the doors.
Give me $40.
Yes.
Wow.
He says in the footage, leadership led and they understand the cost that is involved. I'm challenging each of you, y'all down here, to give a $20 seed.
Wow.
Seed?
Yeah, it's gross, right?
That's pretty gross. Why you got to put it like that?
Yep. So the video shows about people coming forward with $100 bills because they just wanted to frickin' leave. Mm-hmm. Obviously, critics have slammed Sapp. Again, he performed in 2019 at Diddy's birthday party. One person says Marvin Sapp is clearly hustling his congregation for $40K and using God's name to do it.
Yeah, that's really messed up. Also kind of a hostage situation.
It is. I think he's going to be charged.
Yeah, he should be.
So they say he's calling for the doors to be locked. That's not faith. That's a shakedown and a false prophet. Someone had a bill to pay, and it wasn't the church. So very interesting that he just went right for it. And in a way, you know what? Just let him know. Just let him know that you're a scumbag and shake him down.
Hey, the devil you know.
You know?
He should be charged with criminal underbite.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, he really does, doesn't he? It's
This is just for the video members here, but it's bad.
Like a bull.
Yeah, he's a bit like a pit bull.
It's cocaine jaw, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely drugged out of his mind.
I need $40,000 for my cocaine dealer right now.
$20. Everyone give me $20 right now.
Well, he does need something. He owes somebody $40,000.
Yes. And he needed it now.
Yes. So Sapp says, some have taken issue with a particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the door during the offering.
For some people, I don't know why they took it kind of aggressively.
Yes, but then he says, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage as well as offensive. But then he says, that was never my intent. Yeah. When finances are being received in any worship gathering, it's one of the most vulnerable and exposed time for both the finance and security teams. Movement during this sacred exchange can be distracting and at times even risky. He says, my directive was not about control. It was about creating a safe, focused, and reverent environment for those choosing to give and for those handling the resources.
Wow. Good for him for having so many words.
Yeah, a lot of words. And he was like, yeah, they're going to rob us.
Yeah.
This is when the robbers are going to come in and take all of our hard-earned $40,000 that belong to me.
Yeah.
Vulnerable times. People's monies are out. I want it to come directly to me. We got to make sure everyone stays focused.
Exactly. This is when church becomes, of course, not about God, but about man.
Yeah.
And man's desire for money and, of course, our innate greedy nature.
Yeah. Well, my some Catholics, they fucking send the people out all the time. And it seems like a little bit more innocent, but it's not. I would rather be like, this is a fucking shakedown. We're locking the doors so you bitches give me my motherfucking money.
Why would you prefer that? No, that's fine. I don't need to do that.
He did. He said he locked the doors.
I know he did today, but I'm saying I wouldn't want that as much as I wouldn't want the basket that's just passed around. And I'm like, oh.
Well, you can skip the basket.
I used to want to do the basket. That was the thing. I used to be like happily being like, Mom, give me more money. I want to put more in the basket.
Why?
Well, it's because it wasn't your money.
Yeah. I was trying to pay it off so I didn't have to deal with Ronald McDonald in the fucking Ronald McDonald house.
Oh, I see.
Absolutely one of our biggest fears. All right, let's go to the chat. Do we have any comments in the chat?
Pano says pass the collection plate and the collection Venmo, which they might actually do.
Oh my God,
they do Venmo.
They are going to do Venmo if they don't already.
That's a great point. I haven't been to church in a long time, but they probably actually do that now.
They probably do.
You probably line up to go get like the cracker and the blood of Jesus, and
it's got the scan code on the top.
Exactly, and then there's a QR code that you can scan on the cracker.
That you take out of your mouth. Jeff is saying the wedding he went to in Uganda, the priest passed the collection plate around twice and basically demanded extra money after what he already got to be paid to perform the ceremony.
You know what, guys? Really quick, I just want to close the doors. Everyone, empty your pockets. I want a really focused $40 from each of you in this room.
Yes. The church.
Apparently, you can do that.
You can do it if you're a pastor.
The church they're telling people like and subscribe now.
Could I do it as a bartender?
Yeah, why not?
Haley Cron actually gave a shout out to Puppet Masters, the horror movie that used to friggin' scar me for life too. That's what she said for herself. She didn't check Under the Bed because of that movie.
Oh,
Such a good movie. And a good series of Puppet Master. There's like 7 of them.
yeah, there's
like
a
the
lot
dude
of
with the
Puppet
corkscrew head. That guy.
Snap. I mean, for me, it wasn't so much under the bed. It was always just like lying in the dark and looking at the chair with the clothes on it and being like, is that a person? That's not a
Right.
person. It really looks like a person, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone said this is a very upsetting episode. We ended up, ending nicer. But Pano said everything's going to be okay, bud.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Hail yourself, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye guys.